What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Nerd Out, episode 3. I'm Michael. This is
I'm
Adam.
Adam.
Yep. Yeah. This is like you're the intro guy, bro.
Yeah, this was a pretty good. This was a pretty good intro.
The only thing I know how to do is the fit check. So today we got the Treasure Planet jersey on. Jim Hawkins on the back there. I don't know if you can see it.
I'm realizing you have a lot of jerseys.
I do. I really like them. I really like them. Underneath, we got the Walt Disney Studios. So,
Yeah, and today I'm sporting the Super X, not sponsored, not yet. Punisher athletic tee. We're going Punisher because you already know we got Punisher to talk about.
is this just a wear Super X until we're noticed and then we get a sponsorship? Is that the goal here?
Maybe. We got Punisher to talk about. We have a final rating on Daredevil Born Again to talk about. We have a couple new segments I'm very excited to get into. And most importantly, we have some new tunes that we get to play with. Hit it. All right, you ready, Mike? Coming to you.
Ooh.
Oh,
I'm back.
bring it back.
Oh.
All right. Thanks again for coming to hang with us, guys. We have a lot of fun stuff to talk about. So to get us started, Michael, you watched the new Punisher special, yeah?
We both did. This is new for both of us.
Yep.
Just came out, Wednesday, I think, or Tuesday, something like that.
No idea. The 12th.
Sure. Let's go. Do we want to do initial ratings and then talk about it, or talk about it and then ratings?
Let's talk about it, and then we'll do rating.
Okay, cool. I guess I'll start it off. First things first. I thought it was done really well. I thought that the storytelling of it was good. I love the acting. I'm a big fan of Jon Bernthal, so I think we both are. I really, spoiler alerts. I feel like that doesn't even need to be said. That's just a given. We're going to talk about stuff that happened. Every episode, there's going to be spoilers. If you haven't seen it yet, skip ahead. I think it's done really well. I really like how they do everything with his character. I like when you see the brief moment with Karen Page. I like all the stuff with his ex, the people he was like in the Marines with. I like all the stuff with his family. I think it's done really well. Truly, I think it was a good what's it called? Special TV.
Special presentation, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I think it was really, really cool.
So far, all of Marvel's special presentations I've really been a fan of. And I think it's because they don't take them as seriously, or they don't have as much pressure on them, because they end up doing really well. Now, I agree. I think, so Jon Bernthal directed this, and I think I don't know if he directed it, but no, he did not direct it. He wrote it.
Okay. That's cool.
And that goes to what we were talking about last week and the week before when it comes to like great work and great movies, especially in comic book adaptations, come from a fan or come from people. We sung James Gunn's praises when it comes, like, he cares about what he's doing, and you can see that in his work. So I really think that Jon Bernthal loves the character of Punisher. I think he's very grateful for the character of Punisher, and you could tell that he resonates with this character, and he plays the character very well. So I think he wrote this from the Punisher's point of view. I feel like the Punisher wrote this. It was very, very well done in that sense. I'm not super well versed in the Punisher's character. I never actually saw the Punisher show. I did see all seasons of Daredevil, which goes into the Punisher storyline a lot. So that's what I knew about. But the acting was amazing. It's a special presentation, so it's more or less a short film. And with short films, it's less about the characters and more about the event. And I thought they did a good job with that. They didn't take too long getting into the action. There was also a purpose for it. It was Frank Castle's call to the Punisher again. Like, he picked up the mantle again, kind of like season 1 of Daredevil Born Again. It served that purpose. So I didn't feel like I was watching it for no reason. But even if I was, I thought it was really fun. The action is 10 out of 10. I have a lot of friends that worked on it.
I will say that first sequence of the when they're in the apartment building and you see the people like through the peephole and they're banging on the door and then they pour the gasoline under the door. Like from that moment on, that was just so well done.
And then
I
they lit
think,
John Bernthal on fire.
and then I was gonna say, and then the fact that he's just on fire while he's fighting these guys, like just kicking butt, is it was so cool. It
Yeah.
was seriously so cool.
Yeah, and we love like the cool thing about the Punisher is he's just kind of got that rage and that violence. And I remember when Disney Plus first picked up all the Marvel Netflix shows, people were really worried about what they were going to do to the Punisher character. They didn't know what Disney Plus was going to be allowed to put on there, and everybody assumed that a Disney Plus version of the Punisher, or even Disney Plus version of Daredevil, was going to be not true to their character. Now, I don't
Yeah.
know if you remember, my biggest gripe with Hawkeye was what they did to Wilson Fisk's character, where we have the most brutal character, right? You look at him from any season of anything else he's ever been in, he's smashing people's heads in car doors, he's ripping people's skulls apart, but then he fights a 16-year-old girl with a bow and arrow and loses. Like, that really, really upset me, and a lot of people thought that was going to happen with Punisher. But I'm so happy that, especially with this, what we got is a true to Punisher, super violent, super dark, great action. We got a Punisher story. I'm very happy about that, and I think I speak for most fans when I say that.
I feel like it made a lot of sense. It wasn't just like I cared because they took this very real thing that happened with the Punisher and or Frank Castle and his family and his seeking for revenge, and they almost turned the tables on him with
The Nucci family.
the Nucci's family, the matron of the family, if you will, and her basically taking her money and being like, "Hey, F you, you took my life away. Now I'm gonna make sure you never can walk another day in your life without looking over your shoulder." One thing, and this might have been me missing something that I didn't quite get, was the whole thing with her being like crippled and like in the wheelchair.
Yeah.
Do they touch on that at all? Is that something
I
that's in
don't.
the comics?
I don't think they do. I don't know if this is a comic book character. To be honest with you, I'm not well versed in Punisher comics. I don't know if this is a comic book villain.
Fair.
I just assumed it was just kind of part of her character. I don't know what it is, but it was really cool. I do love the scene where she's like, "I'm the one doing the punishing now." I was like, she said the
That was
thing.
cool.
She said
she
the,
said the
There's
thing.
into it.
Yeah.
It was cool. I did think I was like in that scene where she's kind of shaking him down, like she could have just killed him there, or
I'm
had.
gonna be honest. The first thing I thought of was this might be messed up, but the first thing I thought of is she turns around, her big bodyguard turns around. He could have shot them both. He could have.
Oh, yeah.
He could have put an end to it there. He
That's
could have
true.
just. He had his gun. Done.
That's true. But what I meant is, if they really wanted him dead, he looked pretty unharmed, or I mean unarmed there.
Yeah.
But then we wouldn't have 25 minutes of awesome action to watch. And at the end of the day,
yeah.
that's kind of what I see this special presentation of is just a really fun, like almost John Wick style stunts for the love of the game kind of film. And I love that we got to see some really cool stuff. I love
Yeah.
action. I'm a big fan of when you have a really hectic action scene to like slow classical music. I know it's really cliche. A lot of people think it's a trope or a gimmick. A lot of people don't like that. I love it. And they did the opening sequence like that. Thought it was
Yeah.
great. And then they switch to like the screamo metal music. And then, it was crazy. So I loved it. The one thing I want to ask you about is the opening 5 minutes of the filmer. Pretty emotional, not like pretty surprising.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Yeah. The first. I mean, we could pretty much say everything before the garbage truck, or up till the garbage truck, is what I'll say.
Well, that's what I'm
Is
talking
wow.
about. I'm talking
yeah,
about
yeah.
the
I
garbage truck.
just
Yeah.
wow, just wow. When that happened, like
It didn't really seem necessary. I was pretty upset.
it seemed so unnecessary, and it seemed. And here's the thing. I know why they did it, and it was literally to set up that final scene.
Yeah, it's the
where
John Wick
the
effect.
pun. It is 100%, and I think they did a good job with it. I do think it was cool how they not cool. Let me rephrase that. It was a very effective way to get us to hate that dude with maybe 5 minutes of screen time, if that.
Yes.
They've said
Yes,
to
because
themselves,
kicking a homeless man in the face isn't enough. You have to kill a dog. Yeah.
But no, but like here's the thing. Think about it like this. If he did just kick that homeless man and take like the $2 he has on him, we'd be like, oh, that guy's kind of a jerk. Like, I don't like him. But now you add that extra cruelty of being able to toss a harmless puppy in front of a garbage truck that's moving at 30 miles an hour. I hate that guy.
Yeah,
I
that's true.
hate the actor. I don't even know him. I hate that guy. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like when John Bernthal was writing this, he thought to himself, "What can I do to get my audience to hate this dude, even though he is one of the least seen antagonists
Yeah.
in this 55-minute episode
No,
or special presentation?"
it definitely served a purpose, and it was a good
Yeah.
purpose. It's the John Wick effect. You know, we want the viewers to hate that guy. We want, you know, the guys that are watching this, we want their girlfriends to hate that guy and be a little more invested. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, no,
if a,
seriously though.
if a girl's watching a dog die, now they're like, well, this guy better die. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But here's my take on it. When I saw that, I was like, I already know where they're going with this. This dude's gonna die a very gruesome, terrible death. And I think his death was just a little too vanilla for me. We had some really, really brutal deaths in the special presentation, like that screwdriver one where he's ripping that dude's bicep open. That was brutal.
Yeah.
I want to see that happen to the dude that killed the dog, or at least set like that's the final kill. You know, the gunshot, it was satisfying. It was a really cool shot, like in front of the New Cheese family sign. Like I thought it was a really cool shot. Good way to end it. But
I think they did.
Garbage truck coming down the road, just throws him right in front of the garbage truck.
Honestly, that would be a great ending. I think they went for the
And then it reverses back over him and goes again, and then reverses again, and then goes again.
all right.
And then he shoots him in the leg, and then he shoots him in the other leg, and then the garbage truck runs over him again, and then he shoots him in the head. Then it would have been satisfying, more satisfying. And then the garbage truck runs over him again. And then John Wick. John Wick. John Wick should show up as well.
So, what I was going to say 20 minutes ago, I feel like they were definitely going for the more cinematic ending of the Punisher, like that intimidating angle of him top down from the camera, or I guess he's standing over the camera, gun in hand, and you can see the background. You know, it's like it was very cinematic. But I
It was a
agree.
cool shot.
I will agree. I was really hoping that we saw him standing there, and then it panned out, and we just saw, you know, we got to see this dude pay for what he did.
Yeah, it was satisfying. I'm just saying a more gruesome kill would have made it better in my eyes, in my opinion.
That's fair. That's fair. I think sometimes you can even if you have 25 minutes or 30 minutes of pure gore and bloody massacre, you can always do some more when justified. I would agree with that.
Yeah. All right. Would you say it's time for ratings, final ratings?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll let you go. Oh, okay. Here's. I was going to ask you this last week. Do we want to 3, 2, 1 same time? And then
we can
explain?
do that, but I need to think about mine first because I don't know if I necessarily have it. I was going to talk about it first, so let me think about it.
Okay. I have mine in my head.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah, I think I'm ready.
Okay. All right. 3.
This is out of 5 stars, by the way.
Yeah, 5 stars. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1. 3
4
stars.
stars.
Really? 4
Yeah, this is
stars.
a high rating for me.
That's a high rating.
It's a very high rating for me. And do you want to explain first, or do you want me to explain?
So I think I'm a little tougher on ratings than you are. To be
it
honest,
depends.
that's true. That is true. It depends. I think though most things so far I've rated it lower than you have. But let me get into it. To me, 4 stars is like wow. Like
Well,
this
you also
was,
talked me down last time, so maybe you talk me down again.
That's
This
fair.
is just initial, barely thinking about it.
4 stars to me is like wow. Like this is one of the best pieces of cinema I've ever seen. Like this is something I would talk about for weeks and months and years to come. I don't feel that with this. I think it was done very well. I like it for what it was. That's why it gets a 3 out of 5, because I don't have negatives about it per se, but it's not. It's the Punisher. I like him. He's cool. He's not one of my top 10 favorite superheroes, or I guess he's a vigilante or anti-hero, whatever you would refer to him as. He's not one of my top 10 favorite characters of all time. Um, and at the end of the day, it was basically just a 25-30 minute gore fest. It was cool,
That's true.
but
Yeah.
that's what it was. So I'm gonna give it a 3. I feel very good about that rating. I actually think that's a pretty fair rating.
No,
All
you,
things
and you know
considered.
what? You already kind of sold me. I'll tell you why I went for, and then I do have a new rating, and I think maybe I should
So,
stop.
you know what's funny?
Maybe I should stop jumping the gun because out of the 3 ratings we've done on this podcast, I've changed it. I think every time. So
It's funny because the reason I wanted us to do it at the same time was to hopefully not change ratings. But,
well, no,
but
no,
here we
because
are
I need to
again.
talk about it. Because I need to talk about it first and come up with the rating. I didn't.
Okay.
I didn't put that much thought into this one.
Okay.
When
Go
I
ahead. So
watched
why
it.
is it 4 stars to you?
It's well, originally I said 4 stars because I don't think a movie like that, a special presentation, was even in the running for a 5 stars. I feel like you have to set the
It
bar.
can't be.
Yeah,
It
you have
can't
to set
be.
the bar to the max amount of stars, and like something like that, it's smaller. It only set the bar to about 4 stars. So I
Sure.
think that 4 stars is actually the max rating I could have given it. And the reason
So basically, what you're saying is it got the max rating you could have given it.
it set up for itself, and here's why.
Okay.
I think that when you have a project like this, being efficient with the time that you're given and like not telling a pointless story, but also, just showing us something fun to watch, and it like the whole thing. The part of the reason I'm going to go back on it is because the whole thing may feel a little out of place when it comes to continuity of the MCU. But at the same time, that was also really refreshing for me because I'm really sick of this continuity fest that we're in, and I just wanted to see a superhero be cool. I just wanted to see some action, and I felt like they got to an action in a story that made sense. It was true to the character. It brought the character back to his mantle of the Punisher, and we also got some awesome action. So I guess I was more so rating the action. My bias is towards the action. I thought this is a short film where we just get a big fight scene. I was rating the fight scene,
That's fair.
your rating made me realize that this isn't just a fight scene. This was a short film, and that's why I think I'm gonna give it a 3.5 now.
Okay.
Because
I think that's fair.
because I absolutely love getting into the action. I thought there was cool moments. There was nothing about it that I was just like, I wouldn't have done that. Other than I think they should have ran the dude over with a garbage truck a few times.
So let me ask you about something you said there. Do you have anything else you want to say? I don't want to cut you off before you finish.
No. But I will. My new rating 3.5 stars. It was
Okay.
a great film, super fun to watch, and I think for what it is, they really hit the mark on what it is. But what it is not super. Like you said, 4 stars. I realized what my other letterbox 4 stars are. They're cinematic movies.
That's literally what I thought
Yeah.
about. That's literally what I was thinking about.
Right, but it set itself up for for what it is. Honestly, I think 3.5 stars might be the best it could have been. So overall, really good rating. I love the movie or the presentation. But yeah,
So let me ask you something. Something you said there kind of sparked a thought in my mind. You mentioned the continuity thing, right? Obviously, I care about continuity. Everyone does. It kind of
like the
if you
canon.
like film. Oh, I just bumped my mic. If you like film, if you're a film a fan, if you like can critique it in a good way and you have a good understanding of it, continuity matters. And you notice the little things. Here's what I'll say. I think my favorite
just
thing
real
about
quick, I
Punisher-
actually meant canon, but yeah, it's in a similar.
but even so,
similar
what
line,
about
yeah.
this is necessarily off of the canon?
Well, I don't think it's off the canon. I just don't think it tells the overall story of the MCU much further. But that's not.
I think it does a really good job of possibly setting us up for what New York City we're going to be walking into for the future of the next upcoming next couple MCU projects and possibly even the next couple television series. For the sole factor of this, we now see a New York that doesn't have a Daredevil to protect it. We see a New York that doesn't have a Fisk to be.
Does this take place after the events of
I'm
Born
gonna
Against Season 2?
assume.
I'm not sure actually.
One would only assume because even when Fisk was running the streets, it wasn't chaotic like that. It was very much so fear mongering and like it was safe, quote unquote safe, but that's because the anti-vigilante task force was running the streets. And I don't believe the Nucci family was
for our
taken.
audio listeners, he did air quotes under safe.
I did.
Just so you don't think that
quote unquote safe.
Yeah.
Quote unquote safe. Yeah. I know I'm not a fan of Kingpin.
Yeah.
I have to. Thank you. Thanks for the save. No, but the thing with Born Again season 2 is I don't think the Nucci's are killed during the event of season 2. I think it's after the fact.
I honestly don't know. This is something that's really easily a Reddit search, but
that's fair. But I mean, let's just play with the idea of this is.
But I did think
Matt Murdock is in jail. Kingpin is on. It has escaped. He's fled and is in hiding wherever. And now Frank Castle sees an opportunity of I have no one stopping me from getting revenge that I seek. So he goes and he kills the Nucci's, the 4 Nucci men, leaves the matron, and what's her name again? I don't even know if they mention her name.
I don't remember.
Whatever her name is. I actually thought that was one of my favorite parts. That's what kept it at a 3, is because I think it showed a cool dynamic between Born Again and now this. It's like a cool little. It's a mini time jump almost, showing us what's developed and what's happened in New York since Kingpin has been thrown out of office and since Matt Murdock has been thrown into jail. Granted, that could just be my fan theory and my hope that that's what's going on.
Let me just look it up real quick, just so we're not just spewing blasphemy. Because I realize I want to make it very clear, as we are a nerd podcast, I don't consider myself, and I don't think Michael considers himself, but I'll let him confirm, the most well versed on any topic.
No,
there are some that I have more than other, but I know how this community is, and I know that we might get reamed for saying something like truth. We are simply we enjoy the content. We want to talk about it. We're not going to pretend to be, so, hey, honestly, some of you out there listening, love you. Love that you love your fandom.
Thank you.
You got to chill. You got to chill. Because
that's so real. That's so real, bro.
Because you don't have to get, I mean, I don't even know if anyone's getting upset, but you don't have to get upset if someone says something wrong about a fandom that you love, because at the end of the day, we all love the same fandom.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think the biggest thing, my biggest, not pet peeve, but the biggest concern with me for like something like this is we're big fans. We really enjoy it. But I have that in the back of my head, us saying something that's not canonically 100% correct, and someone coming in and like being a lawyer in the chat being like, well, or actually, that's the one thing I'm like, if I get those, I'm just gonna laugh. I can't deal with the response to stuff like that.
I think because anyone listening, we're happy to have you. Thanks for hanging with us. Correct us in the chat, and then we'll put it in a long archive of everything we're gonna get wrong. I want you to correct us because we want to learn and we want to make sure we're doing it right. We're just not going to be that apologetic about getting it wrong, but definitely correct us.
Yeah.
Just don't break a sweat over it. All right. So it says right here, Punisher One Last Killed takes place in the Marvel Cinematic Universe after Punisher Season 2 and is set before and during the events of Daredevil Born Again Season 2.
Oh.
It is placed at the tail end of current Disney Plus timeline, roughly in 2026, 2027, following Frank's escape from the Born Again season. So I think when he escaped from the task force at the end of season 1, that's when he went out and killed the Nucci family, I think.
Okay.
I'm glad
that's so surprising to me.
It is, because it's kind of left a lot of things unanswered, but as far as where Daredevil and everything is, but also that's what I like. This is Frank's story. This is Frank's little side episode, which I like. It's just
I think the only thing I think the only thing that really, and again, this is going to be a little nitpicky, it's not going to change my score still. I'm still leaving it at a 3. The only thing that kind of confuses me there the slightest bit is we're talking about Little Sicily, right, in New York, and Kingpin or Mayor Fisk's whole thing, his whole campaign is how safe he's made New York. But you have an entire few city blocks where it's basically just anarchy. Like but
that's how it is in Born Again too. The whole thing is he's making it seem like it's a safe city, but the whole thing is that it's not a safe city. Mayor Fisk is ruining the city.
That's fair.
like you see, yeah, I mean, in Daredevil Born Again, you see how the city's in ruins and it's anarchy and there's protesters and there's fire. But then you see the media. It's basically just showing propaganda. His Safer Streets Act is all propaganda.
That's fair. That's actually very fair. Well, honestly, the more you say it, the more I think to myself, if I had gone into it with that mindset, maybe I would have given it a higher rating. I'm gonna stick with the 3, but the
You're
more
gonna
we
bring
talk
me
about it, the
down,
more.
and I'm gonna bring you up.
Yeah,
We just
yeah,
balance each
yeah.
other
We
out.
balance. We balance until we find even ground.
Somehow everything that we watch ends up at a 3.5 every time.
Every time, doesn't matter what it is. Sam
Both
Raimi
of our
Spider Man.
letterboxes. 3 point.
Okay. Before we get into our next segment, real quickly, did you finish TASM 2?
No, I didn't. I did
Okay.
not do my
I
homework.
know that was the
Just
plan,
strike on
but
me.
I know that was the plan, but then we were recording a date earlier. We normally record on Saturdays. This week we're recording on Friday, so I'm gonna give you a break on that one. Friday night's a
I
good
will
night
watch it.
to.
I will watch it tonight, though. That was
No
the original
worries.
plan
Yeah,
too.
yeah,
Was to
yeah,
watch
yeah.
it tonight.
Yeah, that's no stress. We'll chat about it next week. Okay, with that, let's hop into our newest segment.
Oh wait,
You
wait,
guys
real quick. Do you want to
Okay.
do your rating on Born Again? Because you said you finished
Oh
it
yes. What did I gave it a 2.5 last time, right? That was
before you
before
were. I don't
before
know
I
if you gave it.
finished.
I don't know if it was that low. I think
I think it
I
was.
don't.
I think it was
I don't
two point
remember.
five. Whatever. We'll go back and we'll look at it. You were correct. The last 20 minutes of that episode was crazy. It
Yeah,
was
just insanity.
insane. The fact that I believe I said 2.5, maybe 2.75. I think it was somewhere in that range. I'm gonna give it a solid 3, and here's why. I wasn't
I think that's what I gave it. I think I gave it a 3.
again, I wasn't wowed by the whole season. There was a lot of highs, but I also thought there was a lot of lows. Now, the reason why that last 20 minutes bumps it up a whole half or a quarter of a rating, the way that they show Kingpin getting to that point of no return, of last ditch, like he has nothing to lose. He's just murdering these civilians left and right, crushing their skulls, throwing them into these marble like pillars, and just decimating everything in his way. For me, I'm gonna slightly be a little. I'm gonna be a little hypocritical here. I'll say that action sequence to me was enough because of the storytelling behind it. But like that's my thing. It was an action sequence that raised the stakes to me because of the intention
It's the
and
point of no
storytelling.
return. Like he can't
Exactly.
even hold his ideal or his image of being for the people anymore.
He
after
can't
that.
hold his image anymore because he is at that point of I'm at like his heels are at the edge of a cliff. He knows he's done.
Which
So
is
for
cool.
me,
I think the series did a good job of raising the stakes until the end.
Yeah.
Like
I agree.
yeah.
I agree. I'm excited for season 3. I really, you know what? We'll get into that later. Actually, we'll get into that because that's a agree or disagree question I have for you later.
Okay. Cool.
So we'll jump into that later. But anyways, yeah, I'm gonna say solid 3 for me for Daredevil, solid 3 for Punisher. What is it? One Last Kill.
I think so. Yeah. One last
So
kill.
yeah, that's gonna be I'm 3s across the board for those two.
Sick.
Okay.
I think. Yeah. Both of us with a 3.
Yeah. Let's get into our first ever official segment, I guess. You've all, I guarantee you all have seen it. We're going to be doing some blind rankings here. I've made a list of 10 characters. This is MCU, or not MCU. Actually, yes, this is going to be specifically the movie adaptations of all these characters. Just to keep it an equal playing ground. I think that's the easiest way to do it. You can change it. You can do cartoon. You can do comic. I don't care. But for mine specifically, it's going to be the movie, most recent movie adaptations of each of these characters. Okay. So that's well. I'll start with that. Do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
I want, like you say him first. You give me the blind ranking first.
Okay. So this is 10. So it's going to be a list out of 10. And this is going to be the best fighter. Now, that's going to be hand-to-hand combat skills, battle IQ, strength,
Okay, best fight.
I'm
This
kind
is
of
wait. This is
I'm
Marvel. This is
this
MCU.
is specifically Marvel, and it's going
Marvel
to be the
Cinematic
most
Universe, or
yes,
okay,
specifically the most recent movie adaptation of this character. Um, so yeah, so I think this is going to be a good one. I think I cooked with this. I think you're going to
okay,
have fun with this.
all right.
Uh, so I have something to write it down. I'm going to write where you place them, and then we'll go through it at
I
the end.
also have something to write it
Oh,
down.
okay. Then you write your own. I'll write mine. Okay.
Okay,
Starting off, first character I have here, Captain America.
and the best fighter.
Yeah, best fighter. So for me, I look at that as if we put these 10 people in the room together, who comes out on top? Or you could even look at a tournament style. If we do a tournament, which character is on top? I'm not really looking at it from a power standpoint. Like if there's someone that just has an OP power, it's more of a pure combat skill. Their power can aid them, but we're not looking to see who's going to kill each other, who's just going to tap first, who has the best skills, who has the best IQ, that type of,
Okay,
you know.
all right.
Does that make
Captain
sense?
Yeah. Let me
Okay.
number my paper here.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So just for the sake of saying it, say it again.
Captain America.
Captain America. I mean, I think he's a really good fighter, and he's got strength, and he's got great fighting IQ. And you said we're just looking at MCU.
Uh, specifically, the most recent movie adaptation of
Okay.
these characters. So
like
for
that.
Captain America, it's going to be
Not
Chris
comics
Evans.
or anything. Okay.
No, not comics, not TV shows, not cartoons, anything like that.
Okay. It's tough when you don't know the rest of them. I'm gonna put Captain America at 4.
4? Okay.
Trying to be conservative here. I honestly wanted to put him higher, but I don't know who's coming next.
Okay. Black Panther.
Ooh, okay. That raises a good question. It's like Captain America versus Black Panther. We did have that awesome scene in Infinity War where they were like running and they were like the fastest out of everyone, and it was them two.
I think that's one of the coolest shots because it shows like that difference in athletic ability between these superhuman people.
Yeah.
And just like literally sprinting the speed of a car.
Yeah. I'm gonna say Black Panther is gonna go under Captain America.
Okay.
Because
How far under? That's the
ultimately
question.
what it comes down to is like it's a serum or super soldier serum versus like that flower that gives them power. But also Black Panther did get pieced up by Killmonger, who's a great fighter, and Black Panther is more of a warrior, like traditional warrior than Captain America. But I still think Captain America just has the experience on him from the movies. I'm gonna put Black Panther at 6.
Okay. We got Daredevil next.
Ooh, and this goes down to fighting only. This is so tough.
Yeah, so here's the thing. Like with Daredevil, it's tough because obviously his sense is a part of his fighting.
Yeah.
So like we can talk about their powers just like with Captain America and Black Panther, we have to talk about their powers. But
Right.
a big part of them fighting has to do with their powers. Mostly everyone on this list, I believe, has some sort of power like that
Okay.
or advantage.
So the thing with Daredevil, and I think, all right. So the thing with Daredevil is him and Captain America both have that like resilience, and like they could take a beating and they could do this all day. And Daredevil, I think, when it comes down to fighting alone, is probably the best fighter on this list. I don't even know the rest, but like with his sense, his IQ, the way he fights. However, I don't think he's beating either Captain America or Black Panther just without. I just don't think that batons and kicks and punches are gonna phase Black Panther and Captain America as much. So including power, not just off fighting alone, including power, I'm gonna put Daredevil at 8, which he's my favorite character. I know I might get some hate from that one, but if everyone here is super powered, it's gonna be tough.
Okay. The next character we have is Gamora.
But also, I was gonna say Fisk is basically super powered. So
But you already put him on. You said he's 8?
yeah.
Okay. Next is Gamora.
Gamora. Well, Gamora's getting pieced up by Daredevil, that's for sure. So I'm gonna put Gamora at 10.
Okay. Um, Next name we got is Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. Ooh, okay. This kind of brings us back to last week's argument about Spider-Man versus Captain America. If you're saying the latest movie adaptation, we're talking about
This would be Tom Holland
Tom
from
Holland from No
No
Way
Way
Home.
Home. Yep.
Okay, we kind of got like that Spider-Man rage moment with Green Goblin, and he showed some formidable power. Um, I still don't know if he's beating Captain America at his
Here's
prime.
here's what I'll say
That's
is a tough one with this. When I wrote down this name, it's just tough because the ranking of him right now could change between now and 2 months from now when Brand New Day
Yeah,
comes out.
I was gonna
Truly,
say
truly, it
I was
could.
gonna say Spider-Man is one of those characters that like in the like at his prime, Spider-Man I think might be the most powerful on this list. But where he's at in the MCU, I'm not sure. I actually will put him above Captain America. I think now he's more of a real life Spider-Man. His powers are more developed, especially as he gets more into the organic stuff. Um,
But
he's got,
we
but
can't
he's got,
count that yet.
but
We
he's
can't
got the
count that
healing,
yet.
but he's got the healing factor already. And Spider-Man's
Okay.
healing factor, I know this from the comics, but Spider-Man's healing factor is compared to that of Wolverine's, not as um, adamant, but like
Yeah,
in the
not as
movies that
aggressive, but yeah.
we see that theory of like why it took him so long to disintegrate in Endgame. So I'm gonna put Spider-Man at 2. And this
Wow.
is this is if we're going Mortal Kombat style
That's
against the other people on this list. I don't know
yeah.
who else is on this
I
list.
think doing it more in a tournament style of if we rank them in brackets one at a time. That's
Yeah.
probably a better way to. Okay, what did we just do? We just did Spider-Man. Okay, next on the list is Winter Soldier.
Ooh.
Now I'm gonna let you answer first, and then I'm gonna say my thing with the Winter Soldier.
Okay, so this is kind of cool because I have Captain America at 4 and I have Black Panther at 6. Now, it's kind of cool because we get Captain America versus the Winter Soldier and we get Winter Soldier versus Black Panther in Civil War. However, we get Black Panther versus Winter Soldier in Civil War before Black Panther takes the herb. And I have him ranked as with taking the herb. So naturally, I think I have to put Winter Soldier under Black Panther, which puts him at 7. But that also puts him, you know what? That also puts him over Daredevil. Man, I would love to see a Winter Soldier versus Daredevil fight. Oh, I don't know. Blind rankings suck, dude, because it's either under Daredevil and I put him at 9 or over Daredevil. I should have put Daredevil. Can I change Daredevil or no? Is it locked in?
It's locked. That's not blind ranking if you can change it.
Do I really think that Winter Soldier is beating Daredevil in a fight? That's rough.
I have a very adamant answer in my head right now, but I'll tell you
About
why
that
after.
question?
Yes, but I'll tell
Okay,
you why
let me
after.
put it down and then you tell me
Yes.
that.
But I'm gonna listen to what you said first. I'm gonna make sure you tell me the ranking so you can't change it.
I think that Daredevil would beat Winter Soldier in a fight.
Okay.
So,
So you're putting him at 9?
which kills me to do that. But yeah.
So here is what I think about the debate on Daredevil versus
Is this
Winter
going to turn
Soldier.
into a versus segment?
No. Not well, that. This could be a longer conversation later if we want. I think that Daredevil beats him, and this is why.
Me
The
too.
most recent Bucky Barnes that we have seen in Thunderbolts was nerfed to all get out.
You think?
He is not as tough as he used to be. Winter Soldier, when he was in Civil War, was insane. He was just a beast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he genuinely was so sick. And then he turns into this like politician that
Yeah.
that literally just gets it handed to him every time he fights someone. When we see him from the I think the only movie we've seen him is Thunderbolts after that. But still, he gets his stuff handed to him. He kind of feels irrelevant.
What I'm about to say is more of a conversation for later, but just to say it real quickly, I think it's really hard with the cinematic universe when you start introducing all these different characters with all these different power levels to keep it consistent across the board of what you want to do with each character's power level and make it
Yeah.
make sense for the movie. So,
Yeah.
but at the end of the day, you're right. Like it is, yeah, you're right. So, I guess thinking about this being MCU and where we last saw him, nine is all right. I have Gamora under him. I still think Gamora is really powerful, but she's at 10 right now.
I think you're going to be upset when you hear the next few names that you with what you've done so far, but that's fine.
All right, hit me with the next one.
After Winter Soldier, we have Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi.
And granted, we've only seen him in one movie, but I think
he was a great fighter. And with the power of the 10 rings, he was pretty formidable. He was like, I loved watching, but I mean, all of these
piecing up a dragon, bro. Piecing up a dragon.
Does Black Panther beat Shang-Chi or Shang-Chi? And does Daredevil? Well, why do I have Daredevil under? This is rough, dude. I think Shang-Chi naturally I just have to put him at 7, but I don't necessarily agree with my list right now.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, what's the next one?
Next one is Wolverine.
Ooh. So we get a Wolverine. I'm going to put him on the higher end. So we have Wolverine versus Cap and we have Wolverine versus Spider-Man. And there's a spot right in between those two.
I was going to say, I know he's either going 1 or 3 for you. It's just a matter of which spot he's going in.
Especially the Wolverine that we see. I mean, he's basically immortal. We've only ever seen on the screen Wolverine die from adamantium poisoning.
Mm-hmm. The Wolverine, I think it would be fair to use here because it's the most recent, would be the Wolverine from Deadpool and Wolverine. I think that's fair. Because that's the most recent.
With the screen adaptations of the characters on my list right now, I don't see a world where Captain America or Spider-Man can really. I know you said we're not going kill, but
give the best of him.
Yeah.
Incapacitate enough to where they would be considered the victor, I think is a fair way to do that.
Yeah. It's funny because I actually think Captain America would do better against Wolverine than Spider-Man would for some reason. But I just have them at different places. I either want to go 1 or 3. Oof. Just poked myself in the eye with my pen.
Nice.
All right, let's do. All right, I really just want to know the next couple names on this list. Wolverine. I'm gonna put him at 1. Bold move. Fortune favors the bold. Wolverine at 1.
Okay.
That's an awesome character. All right, give me the next name.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you the next name. Now I've seen this done where you get name number 9, you write it down before you tell me, and then I give you 10, and you tell me where that's gonna be. Do you want to do that, or do you just want to keep doing it how we've been doing it?
We can do that. Let's change it up.
So, number 9 on our list, Black Widow.
Oh, okay. All right. What's the next one?
You have it written down?
Yeah.
Okay. Our 10th and final name is Taskmaster.
Well, I put Black Widow at 5, so Taskmaster goes at 3, which makes my final ranking number 1, Wolverine, number 2, Spider-Man, number 3, Taskmaster, number 4, Captain America, 5, Black Widow, 6, Black Panther, 7, Shang-Chi, 8, Daredevil, that's so gross to say out loud, 9, Winter Soldier, and 10, Gamora.
I bet you're really upset about this list.
I am pretty upset about this list. This is a blind ranking list. Should we do blind ranking and then should we do the ranking afterwards?
I think you have to stick with it. I think you just have to be upset.
Just sit in that pain.
We can definitely talk about it. Now, there's a reason why my last 2 were Black Widow and Taskmaster. It's because I would argue that the most recent adaptation of both of those characters are definitely the weakest.
Yeah. Well, I honestly feel like characters are only getting weaker on the screen.
That's true. That is very true.
Except for Spider-Man. I don't hate Spider-Man at 2.
Yeah,
Uh,
I don't think Spider-Man's bad. I was a little surprised you ranked him so high over Captain America and Black Panther.
I think I put Black Panther too low. I put Daredevil too low.
I think you should.
Yeah.
I think if you had put Cap a little lower to start, you would have been in better shape. I was also a little surprised about your Shang-Chi ranking. I might glaze Shang-Chi a little too much. I think that movie has some of the
You would have
best
been
action
higher.
sequence. Oh, 100% with Shang-Chi, 100%. But
Well,
that's just me.
I wish I did put him higher now that my last two were Taskmaster and Black Widow.
Yeah,
But all right, nonetheless, that was I think I'm learning how to delegate more with these blind ranking.
we'll get
I
better.
have one.
We'll get better.
I have one for you. Are you ready?
Okay, I am. I have
All right.
my pad is already numbered out. What do we
All
got?
right, cool. So the category is this is another Marvel blind ranking. I think we'll keep it on par for this one as
Yeah,
Marvel.
we got a lot
Um,
of Marvel talk. We'll switch to something else eventually. But
yeah.
there's just
Oh,
been a lot of Marvel stuff.
also your blind ranking reminded me of a segment that we might get into next week, but it's a segment we want to do called Versus, and that is
Yeah.
something where we're going to talk about characters versus other characters, and we're going to break down who we think would win and why. We're going to try to find one that we disagree on so that we can yell at each other, and ultimately I'll be right on. Um,
It is funny to me how little you're right, but yeah, how confident you are that you're going to be right. But anyways,
wrong
go
is
ahead. What's
wrong
your?
and strong, baby. All right, so this Marvel
I've
this
got
Marvel
something in my
blind
eye. This is
ranking.
gonna piss me off. Okay,
Do you
go
need a
ahead.
second? You good?
No, it's just gonna piss me off this entire time, but it's fine. Go ahead.
Well, your list is probably going to piss me off, so we'll be even.
Okay.
Um,
Oh my
Actually, no, it's
gosh.
probably just going to upset you. All right, so this is most important MCU character introductions.
Oh, I like this. I really
Yeah.
like this.
So
I'm gonna
this,
be honest. You gave this a lot more thought than I did. I really like that.
so this could be. Thank you. Yeah, yeah. So this could be like your own criteria, like most important to the MCU. I mean, I think that's what it is. Most important introduction.
Yeah, I'm gonna say
for
MCU.
the betterment of the MCU or for
Okay.
what's to come. And not just that, but also, you know what, you navigate it how you want. Here we go.
Sure.
Um, let's start with. Are you ready?
Yep.
Black Panther.
This is a tough one.
And his introduction, if you want, I'll give you the introduction too. His introduction was in Captain
Civil
America:
War.
Civil War.
Yeah, yeah. I know where most of these are. If I'm not sure, I'll ask. But this one's tough because I think Chadwick Boseman did a fantastic job, and honestly, an awful loss. Gone way too soon.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
R.I.P. to a legend.
It's really tough to say because of the fact that this could have been a lot more impactful if certain events didn't transpire outside of the MCU. Again, it's an awful
True.
event. You really can't hold that. It's hard to judge it based off that.
But we did get
I'm
we did get two other movies out of it.
That's true. I'm not a big fan of those movies personally. I like the first one.
Oh, I love the first one.
I like the first one a lot more than I like the second one. I thought the first one wasn't bad because I enjoy Chadwick Boseman as Black Panther, but I wasn't like the biggest fan. And I thought Michael B. Jordan did a fantastic job.
Oh my gosh, Michael B. Jordan's character is amazing. But we'll get into that.
I'm gonna be a little bit conservative with this one. I'm gonna put this at 6.
At 6. Okay, Black Panther at
Yeah.
6. All right. Coming in next is Spider-Man, and that
3.
MCU 3. That was
3.
a pretty
I'll
big
put-
one. We've already gotten 4 movies, and it's
That's
just
why I'm
it's
putting
also
it so
just a
far up
huge,
there.
such a huge character, comics and all. And that was the first time we saw him in the MCU.
Yep. 3 for me.
and we got some big
And
moments.
he's also one of my favorite superheroes of all time. He's top 3 for me.
Honestly,
So
that's such a big one. I'm surprised you didn't put him a little bit higher.
I'm leaving room. I'm leaving wiggle room.
I think you're leaving room for one particular one, which is smart. If I'm guessing you correctly. All right.
Maybe.
Coming in next is Loki, which was originally introduced in the first Thor movie.
So if I've seen the Loki series, I might put this on a higher rating, but
Yeah.
I've never seen the series.
But also just remember, if you're going based, or if you're including the fact of how many movies and or entities come from one character, Loki, we've gotten 4 Thor movies. We've gotten one event, multiple Avengers movies
What
with him, two
are you
shows.
are you saying we wouldn't have gotten those without him though?
I'm saying he plays a pivotal part in a lot of them. I'm
Okay.
not trying to influence you. This was more for the viewer of like what
I'm gonna put him at 4, and here's why. Because your thought process did bring something up for me.
I'm gonna
I
stop
think
after this. I'm not gonna.
Yeah,
I
you
don't want
should,
to
because
influence
that
you at all.
definitely because I definitely was gonna put it lower. I'm gonna be honest. I was looking like 7 or 8, and I just put it at 4. So I think that the first Avengers movie is the best Avengers movie by far, hands down. It is perfect. I think the first Avengers movie has no
Right.
flaws. Personally, I think no flaws there's no flaws about that movie.
It's a
And
pretty
that
great movie.
and that movie doesn't have its plot point
It's
if
one of my few
Loki
5
doesn't
stars
exist.
on Letterboxd. That's
Yeah,
true. You're right.
that movie doesn't exist if Loki doesn't exist, or if he doesn't have as much of a pivotal role in the MCU. On top of that, I think he does play good roles. He is a good part of the other MCU movies, but specifically because of Avengers, he's at 4.
Oh, nice. Okay.
No,
All right. Number 5, Thanos.
you mean number 4? I only have 3 names.
Sure.
You mean
Number
Black
4.
Panther, Spider-Man, Loki. Okay. Do I think Thanos is more important than Loki and Spider-Man? Is basically what I'm. This I might be shooting myself in the foot, but this is going number 2
I think that's a great one. A great ranking.
because of the fact that Thanos basically dictated all of what is it, Phase 3? Is what does Phase 3 end with? Is Phase 3
I
what
think
ends with?
Endgame. I think
Endgame,
ends with
yeah.
Endgame, yeah.
So Thanos basically dictates arguably 1.5 to 2 of the, in my opinion, 2 of the best Marvel phases that have been created so far.
Yeah. Solid.
Strongest,
Honestly, solid.
not even the best, just the strongest. But anyways, yeah.
Solid
Okay.
ranking.
Give me the
Solid
next.
ranking.
Give me the next one.
I'm intrigued to see what you put at number 1. Number 5 is Doctor Strange.
I'm gonna put him at number 5. Maybe not. I really like the first Doctor
Tough.
Strange movie.
Isn't it tough?
I'm still gonna put him at 5, and here's why. I really love the first Doctor Strange movie. I think there's very little wrong with it. Nothing that I could just off the top of my head grab and be like, I didn't like this. I'd have to rewatch it.
Yeah. Standalone film, it's amazing. I agree with you.
Absolutely. On top of that, him in Infinity War and Endgame, fantastic. And then furthermore, him in No Way Home, fantastic. Only thing I don't like so far has
It's
been
the second one.
Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah.
And I can't hold that against his character and the importance of him being introduced into the MCU. So,
but I agree with you. Amazing character that we see on screen and everything except for Multiverse of Madness. But that, yeah.
Yep.
All right. Next, we have Wolverine, and this is MCU introduction. So,
like him in Deadpool,
that's his first, yeah, which is very recent.
I'm gonna put him at number 9. Number 9.
All right. Coming in next is Scarlet Witch.
She'll go right above that at 8. Cool character. I do like WandaVision, and I like her. I will say that's one of the very few things I like about Multiverse of Madness is Scarlet Witch in that. And she's good in Age of Ultron, but like I could take it or leave her. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right.
More than Wolverine, but definitely less than Black Panther and the rest of them. And I'm leaving that 7th spot just in case.
All right. Next is Deadpool, which, if I'm not mistaken, I think his MCU introduction is also Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah, it would be.
But I do think he's going to do big. I think having Deadpool in the MCU is important for the future of it.
So I am going to put that at 7. I could be shooting myself in the foot by not just putting it at 10, but we'll see.
All right. Oof. Leaving 10. Okay. The next one is Iron Man.
1.
Yeah, I know. I had a feeling you were
That's what I
saving
was
one
holding
for
out for.
Iron
That's
Man,
what I was holding out for, bro.
and I had a feeling you were, and I was like, should I not say Iron Man? Should
If
I
you
just
said it, depending on what your last one is, I might have
a
tripped up
list
and
that
put this one at one. But anyways, let me hear the last one.
Captain America?
I hate you, bro.
That's a rough
I
one.
hate you so much.
But I do agree with you that Iron Man,
Uh
even knowing Captain America, I still think Iron Man belongs at one for most
yeah.
important MCU character introductions.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so this is my list right now. I got number 1 is Iron Man. Not mad. Number 2 is Thanos. I'm still not mad about that. Number 3, Spider-Man. I'm fine with that. Number 4 being Loki. Little bummed I didn't put him lower, but still not mad for the fact of the Avengers. Because I wouldn't want to have Iron Man or Captain America so high on the list if it wasn't for Loki with the first Avengers movie. Uh, Number 5, Doctor Strange. Number 6, Black Panther. Number 7, Deadpool. Number 8, Scarlet Witch. Number 9, Wolverine. 10, Captain America.
I think all in all, I'd be more happy with your list than mine. I think
I would agree with that.
You delegated very nicely with that one.
What I'll say is the only thing I'm upset about is where I have Captain America. Everyone else I think is very fairly ranked.
Yeah,
I
Captain
would
America at 10 is rough, but you're just gonna have that with blind rankings.
yep. That's my list. So it is what it
All
is.
right.
That's what it is.
Okay, cool.
And
Um, let's
all right, let's get into our next segment, also the final segment of this episode. I have a list of questions here, and I'm gonna ask it, and then we're both gonna just say I'm gonna ask it, and then right after agree or disagree. Okay.
Okay, cool. We might only have time for, depending on how much we go into it, we might only have
That's
time
fine.
for like 2 questions.
Sure, that's fine. First one, I came up with this one. It wasn't off of like Reddit or searching or anything like that. This one I feel very strongly about. Bringing Wilson Fisk back into the MCU in any capacity would ruin Daredevil Born Again season 2.
Hmm.
3, 2,
Hold
1.
on. Wait. Disagree.
Agree. I think it would ruin it. And here's why.
Yeah.
Every time we see Daredevil defeat Wilson Fisk, he bullshits his way back into the story. And he basically minimizes what Daredevil has done. It's time for a new villain.
I agree. I agree with that entirely. But you said in any capacity. And that means
I agree.
Yeah, but I mean, if we get a cameo of Wilson Fisk, giving advice or mentorship to another villain, or if it's just if they do it in
Okay.
good taste, I don't think they should, but I don't think in any capacity would ruin the events of Daredevil season 2. I think that they could do it in a right way. I hope that they don't do it at all, but I think that there is a way they could do it without it being bad. But I do agree with you that he keeps making his way back, and at this point, it would be a broken record, and I would probably stop watching if they brought him back as a villain.
Yeah.
As a
That's fair.
villain,
Okay, that's fair.
as a villain in any capacity, like if they brought him back even for a villain for one episode, I would be pretty upset.
That's fair. Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
I have like 2 or 3 I really want to get through. So let's see if we can spitfire these real quick, and then if there's any we want to touch on for a couple minutes, we can. Okay.
All right.
First one. Agree or disagree? Doctor Doom is a better villain than Thanos. 3, 2, 1. Agree.
Agree.
I think that he is scarier. He is more intimidating. Thanos is scary and he's intimidating. Don't get me wrong, but Doctor Doom just has more power. Anyways, Next one. Agree or disagree? Street level heroes are more interesting than cosmic heroes. 3, 2, 1. Agree.
Very much
Okay.
agree.
Okay. I'm glad we can agree on that. Where's the last one? Okay. This one, I think that I know the answer. I know what you're going to say, but I just want to dive more into it. So that's why it's the last one. Agree or disagree? Iron Man was the true main character of the MCU. 3, 2, 1. Agree. Okay. I'm glad we agree with that one. I think that in no world can you ever say anybody other than Iron Man is the main character of the MCU.
I think you can make arguments for maybe like a Captain America if you had to pick one.
He's in the talks.
But
He's
at
in the
the end
talks.
at the end of the day, the MCU is a story that doesn't just play to Iron Man, because you have, you know, at the end of the day, it's a bigger story than Iron Man. But I do think if you had to pick a character to be the main character, it's Iron Man.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing with Iron Man is he is the only character that has left the MCU and is still so prominent in the MCU.
Yeah,
And I think a big part of that is because of Spider-Man, which you know my opinions on how that whole relationship is with Spidey Boy Jr. or Iron Man Jr. or whatever you want to call him. But regardless, like the last line, I am Iron Man, and
it ties the story.
he is
It puts
probably
a
one
bow
of the
on it, sends it off on a boat. It's amazing.
yes, he is one of the characters. I don't even love that they're bringing RDJ back as Doctor Doom. I think they should just let that character rest with the actor included. But Iron Man is probably one of the only MCU characters where if they brought back Iron Man as RDJ, the Iron Man that we lost already, with any sort of paradoxical time jump, whatever they want to do with the multiverse, I probably would just lose all hope and faith in Marvel for forever.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm in this constant state with Marvel where I've lost hope, and then I get a glimmer of it back, and then I grow on that, and then I lose a little bit. So like I'm still in it. I'm still enjoying it.
Sure.
But yeah, they better not make any mistakes like that. That's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Nice. I like
All
that
right.
last segment.
Well, we are getting to our hour mark. I like the agree or disagree. I have a bunch of these, so anytime we can just rattle through these if we want to kill time and get into some combo.
Perfect. We do a lot of Marvel content. I think
we do. I have some Avatar stuff for next week.
I would love to get an Avatar, and I would love if you got caught up on Invincible as well.
That will be my goal. I go into Tech Week this week. I'm going to be honest, so I will have almost no time. But after I'm done with Tech Week, my show opens. I got a 4-weekend run, but I will have a lot of time to watch TV Monday through Wednesday.
Perfect.
So,
all right. Well,
anyways, you take us out because I took us in.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone, for hanging with us. Thanks for joining. We will see you next week, and I hope that you all have a great night.
Peace.
Hey, do we have closeout music?
Oh yeah, hold up. Wait, let me get it up. Hold up.
That's all you guys get. You get one note. All right. Thanks for watching.